I help guys with their Hinge profiles. But to do that properly, I had to test basically everything that I could possibly think of. So here's what worked well for me and what didn't. So first off, for 1 full month, I only like profiles using the active to date filter, which you can see here straight up at the top. I got about half the amount of matches that I normally do, which was really surprising. My best guess is that Hinge just isn't showing me profiles of people who are more likely to respond. But either way, it's not worth it. Now, I also tested subscriptions and boosts again. I did it in the past, but this time I had a better profile, and there's also been a big Hinge update that I wanted to test it again. But here's the table I made. Hinge Plus is the best value, but it's slower. Boosts aren't at all worth it, at least for the cost. And I didn't include roses, but based on the free ones that you get, I find they are by far the worst of all. It's like $40 in Canada for 12. Like, I might get a match from that. Maybe. I'd probably need to spend 80 on average. And that's just crazy. Even though they're like standouts or whatever, that's still not worth it. Now, even though the active today filter didn't work, most of my dates did come from chats where we were both online at the same time. So it was during some evening and we had a bunch of back and forths, and it wasn't just like a single response per day or something like that. So the timing does still matter. Fourth, if I didn't log in every day, I notice I get less attention. And I've shown this before, but it's worth repeating. Both Hinge and Tinder say that being active is the #1 factor for success on their apps, that we prioritize users who are active and active at the same time. Now, fifth is something I haven't personally tested yet, but the guys that I work with have had success with it, and it's re-engaging with old chats. And this is the hidden matches. As you can see here, I currently have 15. Now, most of these, I had just asked them something right after I get a match, and then there's no response back. They just kind of like ghost me without even saying a single word. That is normal. If you get it sometimes, it's not, a fault of your own. That happens to everybody. It's quite common. But some of these are conversations that just fizzled out. And since women get a lot of attention and a lot of likes, it can just happen that yours just gets pushed to the bottom. So reaching out again at least once isn't a bad idea to do. Number 6, using Hinge's reset option gave me a clear boost in likes for like 3 or 4 days. You go to settings, pause or delete, then it asks you if you want a clean slate. However, I was only able to do this once. So, make sure you've got some decent profile pictures and everything set up so you don't waste it. Number 7, I uploaded my Hinge data to a site that I'll link below, but it further confirmed that sending comments is actually a waste of time. Now, I only sent 84 comments. Like, maybe if I kept going with this, it would even out or maybe even be a little bit higher. But the problem with this is that it just takes so much longer to do. It would take me up to a minute on average to send a comment, because I'm not just sending like a garbage comment. I'm just like scanning the profile for at least something I could ask about or something in their pictures. And compared to liking, that only takes a few seconds because I just do it based on the first image, and that just saves me so much time and makes the apps so much easier to use. Number 8, these are a few quick settings that help: only selecting long-term, saying you're open to kids, assuming you actually are, and turning off top photo so you always control what shows up as your first image. And number 9 is my video prompt. I have it listed as my first image, and it tripled my matches. Now, I have a video on this, which I'll link to below, but I'm going to redo it soon because I used a camera that most guys don't have. So I'm going to actually use my cell phone, just like regular lights. I'll also kind of dig into what you can talk about, any tips and everything like that. That'll be out soon, but that's it. I think that's largely everything that I tested so far that's worth talking about. And I'm just trying to like build legitimately like the best resource of information for Hinge and dating apps. So if you think of anything else that I could test, I'd appreciate that if you have any ideas or if you want to help me with that. But otherwise, I'll talk to you in a few days.